Welcome to Food and Philosophy, episode 12. Let me get this food over here and move my notebook. Today, I've got from one of my favorite spots, Irma's Kitchen. I love my tacos crispy. Maybe it's my Taco Bell upbringing. I just got 3 shredded beef tacos, pretty simple, beans, and they got this yellow type rice. I give this a 2 out of 3. 2 means I will eat here again, and probably again and again and again. The only ratings you need. Will I eat there again, or will I not eat there again? That's the only 2. When I see people 8.9 and whatever, all that matters is should you eat there, or will I eat there, or will I not eat there? And then if I would eat there, the only thing that matters is do you have to go there, or will I just eat there again? So 2 out of 3 means I will eat here again. I'm going to take another bite before we get started. I'm going to take another bite before we get started. I didn't even know Paso Robles, and I'm assuming you're thinking of Templeton. I didn't even know that was closed. I don't think it's closed still. Better not be. You're welcome for the Warriors tickets, Anthony. Thanks for following me. All right, I kind of want to eat and not do this podcast. This food is good. All right, I remember the first time I drank out of a cup. All right. Last we left off, and a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children." And he said, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday." Where is the learning in looking at life backwards and living life backwards? You'd just be repeating the same stuff, which would be probably the definition of not learning, as if you stayed there. You are the bows from which your children as living arrows are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness, for even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he also loves the bow that is stable. One of life's immortalities is to recreate yourself with a partner, like literally have children. That's one of life's immortalities, but it's only one of 7 ways to be immortal. I've been seeing a lot. Well, actually, I ended up in a freaking discussion with somebody like, Ike, you need to have kids. And they were telling me why, and to have people inherit you and to teach them and all these things. And then maybe because my phone listens to me on Twitter, somebody that I don't follow, basically, and they're famous-ish. Well, they're Twitter famous, like a couple 100,000 followers, but I had never heard of them before. I saw this tweet come on my For You feed, and he was saying, "I don't care what anybody says. If you're not having kids or something to that effect, that means you're living life wrong, or you're bad, or you got your priorities wrong." And then literally in my For You feed, who was it? It was Tucker Carlson was answering. There's a video that somebody retweeted about Tucker Carlson talking about, was it George Floyd? Somebody asked what's the number one thing to do as a man? And he said procreating. In fact, he went on to say that, I think it was George Floyd, don't get me wrong who it was, but somebody that had like 20-ish kids, and that that means that they won, because the goal of humanity is to reproduce, and so that means that that person is winning because they have a lot of children. My father personally has got 8 kids, so he likes to have kids apparently. A lot of people do. A lot of people that have kids say it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to them. And yet, it is just one of the 7 ways that humans can be immortal. This is the most like corporal way to be immortal, is literally passing on your genes and literally having progeny, literally having kids and then them having kids and then, but that's just still one of life's immortalities. This doesn't only help the species though. It also helps the species evolve and learn. And it also helps to replenish the life force of the universe, literally like stocking it with humans, but also the minds of humans, the souls that get embedded in the humans, the learning that those souls can do. Your learning gets passed on in the material form. Say, when you have children, your learnings and all the things you didn't learn too gets passed on to your children, which is why often, I wouldn't know, I don't have any kids, but often I see and experience other folks have their children express the things that they've been repressing, or the lessons that they've been attempting to learn, but their children express it. It's how the universe learns, through us physically. Now, this is how our learning gets passed through on a material form, rather than through the ether or through, reading books. Like, say, if you wrote a book, that's another way to be immortal. You have some thoughts, like Khalil Gibran, been gone for a long ass time, but he's immortal through this book. I'm not sure if he had children or not, but he's 100% immortal through this book. Also, anything that you've repressed or refused to learn will be played out for you through your children in 3D in front of your eyes, in order to get you to love this aspect of yourself, or to learn this aspect of yourself. Because you're not going to be, oh, well, my kid's fill in the blank. Oh, that person sucks. Like, you're going to love your kid. Probably, no matter what. Not probably. Most people, I'm pretty sure, 99.9999% love their children no matter what. So this is why it happens. We recreate and we procreate, though, in every moment of every single day, not just materialistically, not just like by having children, but it's only through childbirth that we create tangibly, in a way that we no longer have control of the creation. Imagine, so this person, right, Khalil writes this book, or I do this talk, you watch this later on YouTube, or you're watching it right now as I'm saying it. I get to control and dictate what I say for the most part, right? Lots is channeled through me, and lots I might say some stupid stuff. But for the most part, I'm in full control. If I'm currently writing a book, and I'm gonna do that and then edit it and then have somebody edit it and go back, it's gonna be like super edited. But when you have a child, you don't get to edit anything. You sure you can attempt to mold them, or attempt to teach them, or attempt to do whatever it is that you do, but you don't have any control of how they grow, or any control of the lessons that they actually learn. Like, I can't do push-ups for you and you get ripped, or like you can't diet for me and me get ripped, or I can't meditate for you and you find peace, or I can't work for you and you get rich. Same thing with the children. And so the part where he says, your children are not your children, they are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. This is just showing that the universe wants, and its desire, its longing, is to grow and to learn. And through that, one of the ways is to have us as humans procreate. More souls, more learnings, more trial and error, more, like, if there's trillions and gazillions and whatever the number of ways that the world can actually be fabricated in different experiences, then like whatever our genome and DNA is, then we need that many people to be born. In fact, almost assuredly, not every single capable human being, like genome wise, DNA wise, is actually going to ever have the chance to be born because the number is so astronomical. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. Because what we resist persists. If we're like, I want you to be this way, then one, where's the learning for the universe? Two, where's the learning for you? Three, that's just your biased perception of where you're at, thinking that where you're at needs to be where everybody else needs to be at as well. And if you were like right about that, it doesn't make other people wrong for not being that. And somebody can easily find your rightness wrong from a different perspective. I feel like having kids is this generic idea, but it's passing down your traditions and morals and passing on through time to impact the world in a positive manner. Arguably, there's no such thing as impacting something in a non-positive manner. But yeah, to an extent, that's it. Like the thing is whatever we produce when it's children is going to only be repressed ideas. It's only going to be things that we're refusing to learn. So in a sick and twisted way, your thoughts and stuff is not actually going to be 100% communicated all the way down. Plus, there's two parents. There's for sure two different contributors to it, to the child. But then also that's two different out of billions of different ways to view the world going there, plus their interpretation of that. Thanks, Aves the goat. Yes, get a sandwich. All right. The next, hold on. I'm going to take another bite. Like, honestly, I just want to eat. Never too much. I eat Ike's. I almost, like, every day I'm buying Ike's, I eat an Ike's. So if you see me, be like, hey, Ike, can I get the other half of your sandwich that I know you didn't eat? Because I usually only eat half. I don't eat a full sandwich. Half is enough to get me full, but also to fix my addiction to dirty. Ooh, giving. I'm about to say some shit that's going to get me canceled, like me saying your well-being, or you're paid in direct proportion to the value that you put out. Then said a rich man, speak to us of giving. And he answered, you give little when you give of your possessions. It is when you give of yourself that you truly give. For what are your possessions but things you keep and guard for fear you may need them tomorrow? And tomorrow, what shall tomorrow bring? To the overprudent dog bearing bones in the trackless sand as he follows the pilgrims to the holy city. And what is fear of need, but need itself? Is not dread of thirst when your well is full, the thirst that is unquenchable? There are those who give little of the much which they have, and they give it for recognition, and their hidden desire makes their gifts unwholesome. And there are those who have little and give it all. These are the believers in life, in the bounty of life, and their coffer is never empty. There are those who give with joy, and that joy is their reward. And there are those who give with pain, and that pain is their baptism. And there are those who give and know not pain in giving, nor do they seek joy, nor give with mindfulness of virtue. They give as in yonder valley, the myrtle breaths its fragrance into space. Through the hands of such of these God speaks, and from behind their eyes he smiles upon the earth. It is well to give when asked, but it is better to give unasked, through understanding. And to the open-handed, the search for one who shall receive is joy greater than giving. And is there aught you would withhold? All you have shall someday be given. Therefore, give now, that the season of giving may be yours and not your inheritors. You often say, I would give, but only to the deserving. The trees in your orchard say not so, nor the flocks in your pasture. They give that they may live, for to withhold is to perish. Surely, who is worthy to receive his days and his nights is worthy of all else from you? And he who has deserved to drink from the ocean of life deserves to fill his cup from your little stream. And what desert greater shall there be than that which lies in the courage and confidence, nay, the charity of receiving? And who are you, that men should rend their bosom and unveil their pride, that you may see their worth naked and their pride unabashed? See first that you yourself deserve to be a giver and an instrument of giving. For in truth it is life that gives unto life, while you, whom deem yourself a giver, are but a witness to it. And you, receivers, and you are all receivers, assume no weight of gratitude, lest you lay a yoke upon yourself and upon him who gives. Rather rise together with the giver on his gifts as on wings. For to be overmindful of your debt is to doubt his generosity, who has the free-hearted earth for mother and God for father. Speak to us of giving. Of your possessions, people can have these, but they can always get more. So if you're giving of your possessions, you don't really give much, because if you're able to get it once, you should be able to get it again. Because the person that gets something and thinks it's hard to get it back likely gives less than what they would want to give anyway. Everybody can have their own possessions. Like if you give somebody money, they can go out and get their own money, assuredly. How do we know? Because you did. Where'd you get the money from? Are you so special that you were able to get money or possessions and nobody else can? And this is why when you give of your possessions, it's not really giving. It's in a way holding people not fully capable. So give not of your possessions. What else do you have to give? Because know that the material things, those are false gifts. Altruism is a mask for guilt or shame somewhere. If you see somebody, I was starving once upon a time myself, food insecure, living in the back of a warehouse of the store without any power, homeless, starving. If anybody ever gave to me from feeling guilt or shame because they weren't in that position, I felt that. Somebody giving me $5. They weren't giving me $5 because they were joyful. They gave me $5 because they felt bad. And that tainted that $5. Because, like I said, altruism is a mask for guilt and shame. If you see somebody less fortunate than you, you're like, oh my God, I need to do something for them. Like literally, that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just a mask for your own guilt and your own shame. So if you want to untaint the gift, then you have to remove your guilt and shame from it. Like give from a space of giving. This is why people should not give their possessions, but give their gifts. Like say if you're really good at cooking and you love cooking for people, likely if you gave me a sandwich that you made back then, you wouldn't have been giving me a sandwich because you felt bad. You would have had your passion and joy. Like now when I feed people, homeless people, and I'm like, oh, I'll make you a sandwich, I'd rather give them a sandwich than $1, because when I give them the sandwich, like that was me in there. And likely they're not like, oh, you felt bad for me. They feel the love in the sandwich and they got a sandwich. So whatever it is that is your gifts, give from that space. Your possessions mean nothing. Your $5, $100, your $1,000 mean nothing. Your love and whatever it is that inspires you is worth millions more to those that receive it than if had you given them $1 million. And yes, people like $1 million too, but don't taint somebody else's life by projecting your guilt and your shame upon them through your gift of straight up money. Plus, you do hold people less than capable. Your inner divine is the greatest value to the world. So give from this space. If you give from this space, this is literally all that the universe itself desires. It wants you to give your very gifts to the world, whether they're down on their luck or they're up on, like, I'm going to make sandwiches whether you're homeless or you're not. That's a true gift that the universe itself desires. And in fact, giving from the space of your inner divine, of your gifts, is all that is ever actually real on this planet. Everything else is fake. Everything else is generated. Everything else is a reaction. You see somebody and they're hungry and you're like, oh, here's $20 because you feel guilty. Like, that's a reaction. I see somebody who's hungry and I want to make sure they get a sandwich. In fact, I've walked up to people, hey, would you like me to make you a sandwich? And they're like, no, just give me $1. And even though $1 is way less than the cost of a sandwich for me, plus time, plus walking over to Ike's and getting the sandwich, plus putting in the order, plus all these things, and talking to them and hanging out with them, even though $1 is like, yeah, sure, is $1, and they would go away, basically, I say, no, I'm not going to give you $1. I'm going to give you a sandwich, because if I gave you $1, it'd be because I felt bad, not because I actually love you. If I loved you, I'd give you a sandwich. If I loved you, I'd spend my time with you, which I do, and I talk to them and ask them what they like. Because this is the only real gift. The only things that are ever real are what inspires you in your giving. This is only the true gift. It's your essence. And each of us have a different essence, and each of us have different gifts. So what me giving somebody food and you walking into Ike's and buying somebody a sandwich is different than me walking in and giving them a sandwich from me. Now, if you have your own restaurant, or if you're a teacher, or whatever your gift is, that's what you should give. Your gifts. Not anything else is usually going to be a reaction out of guilt, or shame. So if everything is a mask for guilt or shame, use this as an indicator to yourself. Like, give what brings you joy. Give what brings you joy. Give what brings you joy. Like, if you're Warren Buffett and making money brings you joy, then yes, probably help people with stock advice is going to be more inspiring to you and more useful to somebody else than just giving them the $100,000 or whatever that would be, especially when it comes to charity. So give what brings you joy. If it brings you any negative feelings at all in the giving, leave it to be for someone else to give that. So if you see somebody and somebody less fortunate than you, and less fortunate than you, maybe they are actually less fortunate, and you're giving from that space of they're less fortunate, just let somebody else give that gift. There are definitely people out there that love to help those that are less fortunate, that don't do it from a space of guilt or shame. So don't taint this gift for them. So in which ways do you want to make your mark on the world? Which ways? The universe put you here in order to give this gift on behalf of the universe and for the universe. You do it with the universe when you give from this gift, when you give from this space. You deserve to give your gifts, and others deserve to receive them. Like, deserve doesn't have anything to do with anything, because we use it in a way like, this person, you didn't deserve it. You didn't deserve. If you're doing it, you deserve it. If they're receiving it, they deserve it. You deserve to live your life the way that you want to live. And then other people that want that as a gift will be there, be like, yes, can I have your gift, please? Please give me your gift, please. People want what you want to give. So just give what you want to give. And the greatest gift is not of your possessions, but it's of your dreams. It's of the inspiration. It's the love that you pour into whatever it is that you do. And in those things that you do put your dreams and your inspirations and love in, look at what you are giving right now in life. What has actually produced the best results for the other person? You've likely given people money often, or bought them food often, or did the whole like I'm gonna buy the person behind me in line coffee or ahead of me or however it works. Like pay for that person and pay for that person. You've likely done that many times. How much of an impact did that give compared to the time that you gave your love? If you're a music teacher, your love. If you are a speaker, your love. If you cook food and you invite people over to your house to eat, which ones had a bigger impact for the receiver? Which ones had a bigger impact for you as the giver? The giver gets the gift when you give in this space, but the receiver also gets doubly gifted by your gift. This starts all the way at the top with the universe itself giving us life, giving us nature, giving us the earth that we literally live on. However, the world came to be the way that it is, light was given, but the true gift is what the universe receives back from us. Like the universe gave us life, gave the earth life, gave the solar system life, and it's the one that gets the gift back. Whether that's affection or a reflection or attention or whatever of the original gift of life and light and just creation itself. Whatever you believe, God, whatever it does, you do know that there is a planet that we live on that used to not be here, right? Like 5 billion years ago. I know the research keeps going back. 4.6, 5 billion, 6 billion will probably go to like 10 billion years ago. Whatever it was when it wasn't here, and then it was here, and then everybody's on here producing love, gratitude, and all, bad emotions too, all these things too, or negative emotions, I guess. It wouldn't necessarily make them bad. But all these things get generated like a freaking power plant here. And whatever it is, whether it's just the essence of Mother Nature or how things work, gets our gift back. Even though it gave the planet, it gave the sun, and it gave all the things. If the universe is the only true giver, like literally, it was there, it was not there, or maybe it was always there, but the earth was not there, and then here it is, then receive all the gifts bestowed upon us from the universe. If the universe is the only true giver, why are you denying the gift that you have? Receive the gift and be not so quick to reject the gifts as soon as you get them. I had a family member who was like, I just got fill in the blank a lot of money. What can I do to invest it? And I was like, hey, just put that shit in your bank account and look at it for a month. Look at it for 2 months. Look at it for 3 months. Just look at it. Allow yourself to have this gift, this windfall of money that came to you. Look at it, feel it. Like that's the best use of your investment of your money is look at it, be with it, let it change your ideas of yourself about being able to make money versus not make money. Then later on, I'll show you how to invest it or the best ways to do that. Don't get rid of your gifts right away. If you give something away and it's not your true gift, then it's not yours to give anyway. Why the hell did the universe give it to you? What, so I can make a lot of money and then just like throw it in the trash? Like give it to people, even if it's straight up to great charities. Why would the universe give it to me for me to just throw it back out? That's a disrespect to the universe. But with the free time now that I have, because I'm fairly well off, I could go and teach high school kids entrepreneurship, or I've been speaking to junior high kids and high school kids for over a decade now. Now, maybe I wouldn't have been able to do that when I didn't have money. So that's a true gift versus, oh no, I have this money, let me feel guilty and throw it away. That's not a gift anyway, because then it'll just be tainted by guilt and shame. Plus, possessions, it doesn't matter. It's not the possessions that matter, but the gifts that you end up bringing into your heart and then getting those things out into the world. Those are the true gifts, not your possessions. Stop giving away your possessions. Give away your essence, because you can't ever lose your essence. Your essence, your soul is all infinite. Do not give money. Give from your essence. If you become so wealthy, fund what it is that you would like instead of just giving up the straight up cash. If you want children to be better off, invest in schools. Give them your gift. give them your teachings. If you, whatever the thoughts and charities that you believe in, produce those through your gifts. Don't give them money don't give them food if it's out of guilt or shame. They will literally eat that food full of guilt and shame, and it will not make them better. In fact, it might help them stay in the space that they are. Now, if you're a chef or you love to cook for people, give them your food because they will feel that love in there. They'll feel your joy, and it may inspire them. But if that's not you, then knock that off. These are guilt and shame gifts if you don't do it from your essence. And they can only breed more guilt, more shame, more staying in the same place. Is that what you want to be giving? Probably everybody's like, no, I don't want to give that. Obviously, you don't. We will stop there today. Let me look at the questions here. Welcome, Andre. Welcome, Maylin. Who's this? Jane. Hey, what's up, Jane? Saw some people typing up. I love you too, Abe's the GOAT. All right. Looks like I already addressed all the questions. I love you guys. As always, it doesn't matter when it's only a matter of time. And your well-being is your greatest contribution to humanity. No exceptions, ever.